Yes, my dear friend, in this lesson we will learn how we can use external fonts using Pygame module. As you know, we learned to print text on our window. However, we write the text we want in the window using the built-in fonts with the information we have learned so far. So, how to add external font? In fact, there are many font sites where we can find external fonts. The first ones that come to mind are the fonts created by Google, which is fonts.google.com. So here is our web page. You can use external fonts for free by using Google's font page. So what should we pay attention to here? If you want to download fonts, let's follow these steps. First, let's go to the fonts.google.com webpage, and then you see there are a lot of fonts that we can use for free. And let's like and choose a font. For example, let's choose this. And also let's come to the style section and click on the select option for the font we like. And then let's click the select button and you see we are done. And now let's come to the selected family option. So for this, let's move to the top right of Google Fonts web page. So here is the view selected family. So now let's click this, and here is our font. And also if you want to use this font, let's click download all button. And you see we have successfully installed zip file of our font. So let's continue. After performing these operations, our font will download as a zip file. The TTF file in the zip file we downloaded is our font. We must add this file to our project folder. Otherwise, the external font can be ignored. When adding external fonts, we don't actually need to do much differently. So now let's keep this zip file and let's drop to any folder and let's extract it, and let's move inside of font folder, and here is our TTF file. So now let's keep this and let's drop it to the project folder of Visual Studio Code IDE. So let's drop here, and also let's click right and let's rename it. For example, let the name be external font and click enter, and we are done. As you remember, I said to you we don't actually need to do much differently. We just need to define the font we will add in a new class. If you are not familiar with the concept of class, I suggest you search on the internet for object-oriented programming. The class we will use is the font class in the font file. It takes two different parameters. In the first parameter, we need to add the name and extension of the font that we added to the project folder. So here. And also it must be of string type. The second parameter is the font size. So here. Integer type value must be entered and font size is pixel type. Likewise, we must set the position for this font and of course define it in the build method to display it in the window. So now let's examine and interpret our code. When we examine the codes, we observe that we have made changes only in the font class, so you see here. As you know, in our previous lesson, if you want to print text on the window, we use default font function, which is SYC font. And also in the external font, we should use font class. So this is the difference. As you can see, everything is the same except the interface font variable. So I have already told to you. And also when we run our code in this way, the output that we will get like this. So let's run our code now. And you see here is the result. For example, let's change the size of this font as 100 and let's run our code again. And you see we have bigger size than before. So it looks perfect. Alright my dear friends, in this lesson we learned how we can use external fonts using Pygame module. So now let's move on to our other lessons and let's build our interface project.